Just a second while I get myself up on the computer so I can keep track of people who ask questions or say things. There we go. Okay. Hi there. My name is Wendy Keys Turnbull, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today we're going to do a unique project with a common household item helping us along the way. So, just a couple of quick notes. As of today, there is a new suite available. It's called, I just went off of it, Fitting Floral, I think it's called. It's got 2 stamp sets, some paper, dies. There's some window dies, so you can do windows in the middle of your card front, that kind of thing. Very neat. I haven't ordered it yet. I haven't looked at it yet, so I'm a little behind on that stuff. The mini catalog is still going until the end of December, and I will post my host code when I get done. No, it's fine. I'll post my host code when I'm all done with my live today if you're interested in purchasing anything. But let me put you down to the desk and see what we've got here. Hi, Vicki. I just saw that you were watching. Okay, let's see what we got. And move it up a little. It's so crooked. I don't understand why it's so crooked. But it will have to do. This can't come out any further. All right, this is just gonna have to do. Okay, my monthly workshop information, which I put up every week. It looks like it's at an angle, like my desk is at an angle, which it isn't. And I also tried to get my lights to work on my camera holder here, but I think it needs to be, the remote for it needs to be charged. So we're just gonna have to deal with my lights. And I tried working with the dining or the room light off over the top, but that didn't work either. So, okay. So the host code is good until Monday night, and it's SSGF6WKU, but I will post a link so you won't even have to worry about the host code. It'll have the host code included in the link. Let me bring you in a little bit here. Okay, let's see how that does. 9-second delay, so. I just have to say, I was on, they have been doing, Stampin' Up! Has been doing for, I'm looking for something while I'm talking, sorry, has been, for the last month, there it is, right on top, duh. For the last month, they've been doing, once a week, they've been doing a special online thing with demonstrators using the Splendid Thoughts stamp set, and these are the 2 that I made this past week, this past Wednesday, I believe it was. So my card class is using this technique on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but it's a really neat idea, and I may share it on here in a future time, but I just wanted you to see them because it was a lot of fun and it was really unique. So this is the Splendid Thoughts set that we used. I did this one while I was on with them, and then I did this one when I came off. Okay, but today we're going to work on these. You guys are going to be really surprised. Some of you won't be, but many of you will be really surprised with what I'm using for this. So these are done with bleach, common household bleach. I have a little jar of it here that I'm going to be using rather than bring my whole bottle of bleach into my project room. Be very careful when you're working with it that you don't splash it on your clothes or you wear old clothes or whatever, but we're going to work on these. We're going to start with the wave card, and then we're going to do the psychedelic kind of tie-dye kind of card. So I'm going to put this right up here at the top. You may not see the whole thing. You probably won't see the whole thing. So what you need is you need a paper plate. I had 2 earlier when I was working with this, but I threw one of them away. Hopefully this will be fine for the time we need. You need 8 half paper towels, or 4 half paper towels folded into half, so you have 8 layers. All right, what I'm gonna do is, well, before I pour that on there, let me get my stuff out that I need. I'm going to be using Waves of Inspiration and Friends Are Like Seashells for the seashell and the sentiment. Okay, get all of my stuff out here. Got it right where I need it. Excuse me. Night of Navy ink. Oops, that fell out of there. Okay. My stamps. I might use a different sentiment on this one. Okay. Excuse me. So I have my big block. And I'm going to put the wave stamp on the big block. Okay. So on this one, I'm using an 8.5 by 5.5 crumb cake card base and a 5.25 by 4 Night of Navy rectangle. And I also have petal pink. I don't know what size this is. It's just big enough for the, sorry, the seashell. And I'm going to be doing 2 different bleaching techniques here. I'm going to be doing one that I got online from Sharon from txstampers.com. I think she made the video last year. She used 10 different techniques. And the other one I got from my demonstrator that I used to go to on the other side of Syracuse, which is about an hour and 10 minutes drive for me, Melissa Damon. And she helped us to create a book of stamping techniques. So we learned a new technique I think we learned 2 or 3 techniques, or we had technique classes. So I'll be going through these at some point, probably. The ones that are still relevant. They're not all still relevant, but we will be going through this at some point. We've already done this one. That's the kissing technique. So this is one that we're going to be working with today. Bleached out images, but then we're also going to use the regular bleaching technique. Okay, so here we go. I am going to pour most of this onto here. I don't want to pour it all on because I need it, some of it for the other technique. Let's see what I get here. Okay. It's so neat. Depending on what color is used in the dyeing of the different colored papers, I gotta zoom you out a little bit or you're not gonna see much of anything. You'll get different colors in the background. So then we're just gonna put this on the ink or on the paper towels with the bleach, and we're gonna set it down here. And it needs to sit for a minute or so, not a minute, but a few seconds. Hi, Shirley. Hi, Deb. Okay. And then we're just going to let it sit for a minute. And while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and do the big... Okay, first of all, you need to have either a sink nearby or a little container of water because you don't want to let the bleach sit on your stamps for too long. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this off and put it right in the water so that it gets the ink right off. And then I'm just going to take it right out of the water because I do not want it to... Hey, Dougie, could you please turn that off? Sorry, my husband was cleaning our... we have a Pampered Chef self-cleaning blender. And he asked me if it was too loud at the beginning, and it wasn't, but then it was too loud sitting there beeping that it's done. So we didn't take care of that. Okay, so now it's all cleaned off. Doesn't smell like bleach. So I'm going to go ahead and put that away. And I'm going to go ahead because I'm going to need this paper towel for this background too. So this one is the spiral die background stamp. So I'm going to put that on the block now. And for this, I am using Flirty Flamingo, but I did a bunch of other colors with this and I will show them to you when we're all done making the cards. This is so much fun. It really is. You guys ought to all try this. Just regular household bleach. You might want to be in a well-ventilated area while you're doing this. I am not, but I think I can handle it. I already was doing it this morning. I think I can handle it for a little while. Okay. And we will set that aside. Uh-oh. Doesn't look like it got anything in the middle. No, it did not. You know what? We're going to turn it over. I wonder why. Oh, I know why. Because I didn't have my paper plate down flat. I'm going to zoom you guys out more so you can see everything. Okay, this should do it. Yes, okay. Oh, I put it on crooked. Oh, well. Okay. Now I'm getting bleach on this, but I'm not really worried about that much. It's not going to hurt it any. It's just felt. All right. We'll take that off. That's better. We'll set that aside. Peel this off the block. Put it in my water. I don't want it to sit in the water for too long because I don't want the sticky label on the back of the stamp to get unsticky, I guess you'd say. So this is, you'll see when I did this one, a lot of a crumb cake color came out of the Night of Navy. This one still looks pretty blue, but let's see what happens. Let me put that back here. Let's see what happens when we heat it with the heat gun. It's going to be blue this time. That's kind of cool. I like that. That's interesting because it's the same paper. Huh. That's okay. I like that a lot. I could have put like a... No, it's turning a little brown. I could have put like a balmy blue card base on it instead of... See what happens with this one here. Good enough. Okay, so I'm just going to set this aside and we'll get to that card in a few minutes. Let's go on with this one. Okay, so that was technique 1, where you're stamping directly from the bleach homemade ink pad onto the paper. Now technique 2 is what we're going to do with the other one. Hi, Callie. Callie, I need to find out from you if you're going to come this weekend or not. So just let me know. So, okay. So what we're going to do with this one, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to use StazOn ink. Oh, we're going to also emboss with clear embossing powder. You could use a colored embossing powder. I was actually planning to get a gold embossing powder out for the flower on the other card, but I didn't get around to it. Now, the thing is that my StazOn ink pads are pretty dry, and I just went to re-ink them, and I am completely out of StazOn ink. There wasn't any. There was a little bit in the bottle. I probably should. I'm going to do that again, guys, because I use the other one. So I've got 2 of them here. I don't know which one is better. All right. I wanted to get it quickly. Okay, so I'm going to stamp it with ink, and then I'm quickly going to cover it with the clear embossing powder. And it was wet enough that it picked it all up, as you can see. And then we're just going to heat it until it turns black and shiny and melted. As you can see, it is doing. Hi, Sherry. Okay. All right. So there we have it. I can't believe this is blue. That's so cool. When that one came out so brown. It's kind of cool that it came out 2 different ways. We'll see what happens as it dries. It may lighten up. Okay, so for this technique, so as you see, I used the StazOn ink to stamp it, and then I used clear embossing powder in the embossing gun. You have to get the StazOn powder on really quickly after you stamped, unless you have a really juicy pad, and you need to basically use StazOn. StazOn's the only one that will really work with this. Sometimes if you're fast enough, you could use a regular one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to paint. And I'm going to zoom you back in now because I don't need as much room now. If I can, there we go. Okay. So we're just going to use it as though we were using a paintbrush. I'm going to start with the little one. And I'm just going to color in some areas with bleach. Oh, I don't think I got it in there. Here we go. My husband is deaf and he cannot hear. You guys probably can't even hear it anyhow, but I can hear the beeper on the blender. So in a minute, I'm going to get up and go out and turn it off because he doesn't hear it. So, all right, and then I'm just gonna put little blotches of color of bleach here and there. I could do the whole thing. Okay, and then I'm going to get that brush into the water right away. Pull my other stamp out of the water. I forgot that I left it in there. All right, let me put this back where it belongs. If I can just find, there it is, way up there. Hang on just a second. Hey honey, you can't hear it, but that blender is beeping. There we go. Okay, so I can see on the screen on my computer that it looks like it's turning white, much more than it looks like it under the lights here. I'm gonna help it along. You could just set it aside and let it dry, and it'll bleach out. And if you've got too much, just tap it with a paper towel. Still damp, but here's what we've got. Got some white around the edges and some darker shades on the inside. Oops, let me move it over where you can see the whole thing. Sorry about that. Okay. And one more technique for this. So for the label, you'll see that I splattered it. So I'm going to use this paintbrush. And I'm just going to go like this. And you could brush it on if you wanted to. I'm gonna get something up in that corner up there. There we go. Switch that around in the water. Okay. And I could blot that up. Let me just go ahead and use the handy dandy gun again. Oops. Hi, Gina. Thought you were on a cruise. Oh, no. Yeah, I thought you were on a cruise. Or someplace really nice. Good to see you here. Or maybe that's next month during the December get together. You're going to be gone. I can't remember. I don't even know if you guys can hear me talking while I'm using this gun. It's interesting that some of them aren't turning at all yet, but I'm going to let that sit for a minute while I cut this out. Okay. Pull it up a little bit. Here we go. And I need the die cut. So this is the set that has all the dies together. So I'm just going to use that one right in the middle of everything. Obviously, I need to pull this up even more. Let's see if that helps. All right. Doesn't seem to have helped. I don't know what's going on. Hang on. Okay. So now when you cut it out, you're left with all these little extra pieces on it. So you can cut them off, as I did on my first card. Or let me show you the other one that I made, the other seashell that I made and what I did with that. And I made just, so here's the other seashell that I made. I made it on crumb cake. You'll see that it turned yellow behind it. And I left some of this on it. So what I could do, that's really gonna stay blue. That is so cool. I could do it, what I could do is just put that all on there just like that. Or any other way. I could put it on like this and then cut that off. I really don't wanna cover the crest of the wave though. Could do that over there, but then there's so much blank there, but I could put this right here. And I may just do that. But, nope. Yep, I am gonna use that one. I'm gonna save this one for another project since I already did one in pink. All right, but I'm gonna do this like this, but I am gonna cut some of it off. Let's put that on there. We're gonna put it on with dimensionals. I'm going to use a little minis, or a half a mini, a couple of half a minis, I think. Oops, want my sticky scissors. Okay, one here, and I'm going to put one here. Okay, we'll see what we need to cut off when we get to that part. Oops, I see I splashed some up in the sky. That's okay. Okay, let's put this on like so. I like that. Then we're going to put it on our card front, crumb cake. And I am going to use, oh yes, I told myself to leave all my tools on one side where I could find them. I already see that one tool is missing, but oh well. Okay. Just going to do it that way. And center it on here. Oh. And it's crooked. It's a Wendy original. Okay, now the one thing I did not do yet that I need to do, somewhere there's my little, gotta put my seagulls in. So we're using this again. I'm gonna try and put one right there. Put one over here. I'm gonna have that one's actually gonna be partway blocked. Put one up here. Put one way over here. Oh, got on the end of the seaweed. Oh well. Okay. Put it back down here. Okay, we're gonna let those seagulls come out a little bit, but we're gonna stamp this. And I'm gonna stamp it. What else have we got here? Happy birthday to my beautiful friend. Put this back away. Sorry that I can't seem to zoom out from this today, guys. I don't know what's going on with that. This is just says happy birthday. Could do it that way. Maybe not a bad idea. Oh, yes, and there's a label die for it, except this is not long enough for it, of course. But I could do that and just have the dotted. We won't worry about that. Oh, that's not going to fit in there. All right. Let's go back to the other one. Whoops. Happy birthday to my beautiful friend. Will that fit? I don't think so. Nope. Okay, well, I guess I'm doing the same one again. Or I could just do for you. That's what I'll do. I'll just do for you here, and then I'll put happy birthday on the inside. I like to have options. Okay. And that we're going to do a night of navy. And I think I will do it this way. For you. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put that right up here over the messed up bird with dimensionals, with adhesive strips, because I happen to have some here. I'm just going to put one angled across there. We're going to stick it on here right over the top of that. There we go. And then I have these in color bling, which are Starry Sky and not Night of Navy, but actually, I think I'm going to use the Tahitian Tide because it's going to go with the tide. Okay. Whoops. And they lost. Okay. And what was missing is right there. Put one up here. And we're going to put one, let's put one down here. One more. Let's put one over here. Okay, card number 1, done. So here's my sample, and here's the one we just made. Oh, I know what I gotta do. So now I need to trim off whatever I don't like hanging over. And actually, there's not really much hanging over. I'm gonna trim this. And I'm going to trim this and this. And then I am going to trim this off because I don't like how it's cut off. It looks like I cut it off, which I did. So I'm going to go, whoops, I did that one. Okay, and then I'm going to just trim it a little more so it doesn't look like I cut things off of it. Get into that one. There we go. This back on here. Oh, it fell off its tape. It's glue dot. That's what happened. There we go. Okay. So sample and freshly made. I really like how white that one came out. You'll see this one still hasn't come out white. It could be that I had the bleach out of the bottle for a while because one of the things that Sharon from TX Stampers said was to use fresh from the bottle bleach. I put it in this bottle and sealed it, but that could be why things are coming out a different color. It's not as potent, maybe. Okay, let's go on to the other card, which is this one. And for this card, let me get these out of the way. I will just put it over here for now. Okay, I can need to clean off my stamp. Sorry about that. So if I wanted to, I could put Stays On Cleaner on here. Stays On Cleaner. It's almost empty too. Put Stays On Cleaner here and let it sit for a couple minutes and then wipe it with a paper towel and rinse it off with my chamois and all of the black, most of the black would come off. For now, I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. Oops, my goodness. Sorry guys, I will make sure that I can get you more into the screen. I don't know why it's not. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, you'll see in a second. That'll be better. There we go. Okay, so let me put these away. one thing I wanted to note on this, I accidentally, when I was trying to do my gulls, I got too much on here because I had already thrown away the paper towel, so I brushed it with the paintbrush and it had too much on it and it made a mess. So I tried to cover it in with a marker, and then I decided to stamp over it, so there was like a gull flying in front of the moon. Didn't do too great. So just a heads up. All right, so now let's move on. Whoops. So for this one I used that spiral die. It's called spiral die, but it's tie-dye, it's not a dye. And then I used the Hydrangea Haven for the flower. Let me just put this gull back where he belongs so I don't lose him. He's little enough that I'll lose him if I'm not careful. Put him back in here. There we go. Okay. All right, and I want to show you these when I'm all done. So let me grab these out. Spiral die. Oh goodness. I did lots of different colors on this. I thought it was really neat. Okay, so I need Night of... Well, no, that's the wrong one. I just had that. Ha, silly me. I need all my papers. I need colored pencil, water brush, and stamp. Notice I haven't been stamping the insides of the cards lately. I will go back and stamp them when I need to use them, but for now, to save time, I figured I wouldn't bother stamping the insides. Okay, so we're using spiral die, D-Y-E, not D-I-E. And then the Hydrangea Haven. I'll show you these in a minute. Okay, so we did this. I did it off a little bit. I'm not thrilled with that, but that's okay. It is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead. Ooh, that's what happened on the other side. Go ahead and attach that. There we go. Okay, now we're going to do that second technique on this one again. So we're going to, I'm missing a colored pencil. That's interesting. Is it here at all? Strange. Oh well. All right, we'll just do it with the pink. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Stays On ink. And I'm going to go ahead and use this big block. Get my stamp out. Oh goodness, I need to clean these stamps so they stick better. All right. Now remember, this is where I'm going to use the embossing powder, so I'm going to get that open. All right. Let me put the lid on that just to be safe. I'll need it again in a few minutes, but it's probably getting weaker by the second. I'm going to give it lots and lots of ink if I can. Okay. This one, because it's a little bit bigger, I'm going to rub on the back of just to make sure that I get all the parts covered. Okay. And then I am quickly going to cover it with powder. And it is sticking for the most part. Looks like it's not sticking on everything. I might have to do it again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do it again. Let's see. Doesn't look like it's sticking on the leaves and the stem at all. Well, let's see what happens when we heat it up. So the reason you're doing this is the embossing powder will protect the colors from running when you put the bleach on. So if you just put the bleach right on top of the ink, it's going to make the ink fade out or change color. And I am definitely going to have to do that again. I am going to have to go out and buy me a Versamark or a Stays On re-inker. Let's try this pad. I'm just going to flip it over and do it again. That's better. All but the tip, which dried a little too fast for me to get it. That's close enough. Maybe I can show you what happens when you get bleach on the ink. Okay, let's get this done. There we go. That is much better. All right. This out of the way. Okay. Remember, if you're watching, make sure that you say something so I include you in my drawing tomorrow night. I've got Vicky, Pamela, Shirley, Colleen, Sherry, and Gina. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's 8 people watching. So feel free to pop in and say hi, or I'm watching, or whatever. Okay, I could cut this out first, or I can paint it first. And I think I'm going to go ahead and paint it first. And I'm going to start on the tip of this because I want to see if I can show you. Oh, there's my other colored pencil. See if I can show you how it will run if it's not Versamarked. See what happens here. Maybe it's not going to. See, I've got a little bit too much water on here. That's okay. Okay, let's see here. Just do some blotchy spots on this leaf. We'll start going every other spot on this one, and we'll add more as we see fit. Okay, so there's a start, and you'll see that the mint, this is mint macaron paper, and you'll see that the bleach is turning it blue, like a pool party blue, which is my favorite color. Pool party, Coastal Cabana, Bermuda Bay, those are my 3 favorite. That's my favorite color family. Okay, now I'm going to use the bigger brush, and I'm just going to do some spots in here. Yeah, see, that's too much. That's okay. I may end up doing the whole flower because then I might color it in. I am going to color part of it in with colored pencils afterwards, but the thing I thought was really neat about this was that some of the bleach turned the paper orange with the heat gun. It's almost like it scorched it. And it looked like a hydrangea at the end of the season when all the petals are turning brown, but there's still some color left on it. So I thought that was kind of neat. So I'm going to try and do that again on here. We'll see. Let's put one over here. Okay. There, so I left a few not done. And I may change my mind and do them again. We'll see. Okay. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Bev. Hi, Zena. Bev, you need to let me know if you're able to come this weekend too. Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. Okay, here we go. So for those of you who might have just joined, this is bleach. Just household bleach. And it changes the color. You can paint with it, you can stamp with it. If you just joined, then you missed me stamping the background stamp on here and on this other card that I did. Unique that it came out blue this time. I used the same thing of bleach and it came out brown the last time. So I think that's kind of cool. Okay, see how some of it's turning orange? I think that's kind of neat. I don't know if you can see the blue in there. I think you can see it down here in the leaves anyhow. I think I'm going to put some more on. So, I have this where you guys can see it, but I want to be able to see what I'm doing too. Now some of this may be diluted because I just washed this brush. I wiped it on a paper towel, but I didn't dry it on the paper towel. I just wiped it on the paper towel. So some of this could be watery. Let's put some more on here. And some over here. I think I'm going to leave that other little leaf the blue color that it is. A couple more up here. I do think my bleach is getting diluted. Yes, I know it's been a long time since I've done bleach effects too, Zaina. I was really looking for something different to do when I saw this in my little booklet. Went online and found some other ideas too, so leave it. So you can splatter with it, or you can paint with it, or you can stamp with it. You get 3 different kinds of happenings. Okay, I really like the way they're turning that orangey color now. See if we can get these to do something. Okay, now I think that's all dry. Looks like it. Let me close up the bleach because I am done with the bleach. And let me cut this out and then we're going to color it just a little bit. Okay, this one. This one's a little harder to line up because you got to get the stem in the right spot and the flower in the right spot. And the card stock is a little warped from drying. But I think I've got it. Yep, I've done shaving cream too before, Kathy. I may do that one on here one of these times too. Okay. Get this out of the way. It's neat the things you can do stamping with stuff around the house. Okay, so I'm just going to take, and I'm going to actually grab another colored pencil. I want a garden green one if it's out, if it's available. Let's see here. Yep, okay, good. All right, so I'm going to color in a little bit of garden green down here, and maybe just in some of these little spots. Just a little. And I'm going to put a little pink and yellow on here. This is Flirty Flamingo. So basically I'm making it look like this was a Flirty Flamingo hyacinth, a pink hyacinth. And it's starting to change color with the season. So, and then I'm going to use some crushed curry to go between the pink and the orange. I'm going to go ahead and color it over some of the spots that are already orange too. Okay, and then I'm just going to use my water pen to blend some of it in a little bit. It's not going to hurt the water pen any to be coloring over the bleach. Because you're squeezing water out of it. And let me clean that up a little. Get the green blended in a little bit. Don't feel like there's any water coming out of this. There it goes. know, Zena. Oh, that's really neat. Elephant on a dark gray card. I like that idea. Okay. So there you have that. And now we're just going to put this up here like so. I could do it that way or that way. Big dimensionals. And we're going to use a strip, an adhesive foam strip to go up the stem. You can bend it however you want. And then we'll use dimensional on each sleeve and one on each side of the strip at the top. And oops, get on there. One. You're welcome, Deb. Sorry you won't be here this weekend. We will miss you. We'll probably use some of these techniques in the future in my card classes. We'll see. All right, I'm going to put this one on like this. And then I'm just going to use black Stays On ink to stamp the sentiment to an incredible woman. Now I have to find 2 incredible women to send this to. I'm going to put it down here this time. I have lots of incredible women in my life, so that won't be a problem. All right, so there you have it. So here's my original sample, and here's the one we just made, a little bit darker. Could be that it'll lighten up over time. I will post pictures of this in the comments after an hour or two to see if it's made any difference. And then here's the ones that the sample I made today using bleach, same Night of Navy cardstock, but on here it came out blue instead of the crumb cake colored, which I think is actually kind of cool that we got 2 different ideas there. Now let me show you what the bleach stamping did on other colored cardstock. So here, this one is really unique. This is So Saffron. It did almost nothing. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a very slight imprint of the stamp on there, but almost nothing. And I have no explanation for why it did that. But here it is on Mango Melody. So it did a light yellow inside of the orangey yellow. And here it is on Blackberry Bliss. I really like the way it did different shades. Blackberry Bliss, let me hold it down a little more so you can see it. This is Poppy Parade. And again, kind of creamy colors, and then there's some darker red colors in there. These 2 are my favorites. So here it is on Granny Apple Green, and it made it go yellow and green, which psychedelic. I thought that was really cool. I almost used this one on the card, but then I thought, well, I want to save this to show at the end. So that's what I did. And the last one, Bermuda Bay. So you see the Bermuda Bay, and it did like a blue and green kind of thing. I think that's pretty cool too. So I'll probably use these in different cards. Probably birthday cards, because I need lots of birthday cards. But that's it. That's all of the samples that I made up. And this is the sample that we made today. And you can see that it's getting drier and lightening up even more. So, okay. Let me turn you around. Look at my ceiling for a second. I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed doing it. My bangs don't want to do anything. Or fringe, Zena. Yes, and I will have lots more really neat techniques because I've been looking up things. Let me pull my camera down a little bit. There we go. I've been looking up all kinds of things and getting all kinds of ideas. So I'm going to be doing techniques for the next several weeks. I have a card class this weekend. Let me show you what we're making. Those of you who know that you're coming, you've already seen the samples, but let me get them now. They're going to be backwards because I flipped it around. But so this is a baby card. You know what? I'm going to flip you back around. Hang on. Be a lot easier for you to see them down there. Okay. This is a baby card, which I need a baby card. So, hello, baby, it says. And so tiny, so precious. Babies are a blessing. Congratulations. This is heat embossing on vellum, and rather than use the ink color and then the Versamark, because it's vellum and it's not as porous as cardstock, the ink stays wetter longer, so you can actually heat emboss with just the ink. So that's Pool Party ink. So we'll be working on that one. And this one is using that. This one is using, oh goodness, there's stuff everywhere. And I'm not even showing it to you. Okay, this technique that I was telling you about that they did for demonstrators, they had the Wednesday night demo classes. So this is using that, just going diagonal. For a true friend, may good things grow all year long. Happy birthday. So there's that one. And then only 3 more. Yeah, just leave that out for now. Needed a nice masculine card, so straight up you're the best. With the nice whiskey decanter and the highball glass with the rocks in it. And the lemon peel or lime peel or whatever peel you want it to be. Sending you an old-fashioned birthday card. And this is the new trio punch, best trio punch I think it's called. And there's a special way to do it so that they come out the way they should come out. I don't know how else to tell you. Okay. And then this is using the warm welcome kit. So you have your door open, it's your day. I like the little calico kitty cat. And then happy birthday with an arm bringing in roses. It's almost like a Where's Waldo shirt, only in blue and yellow. So that one and one more. And this is the project that we're doing this month. This is a Christmas gift card holder. So happy wishes. The backgrounds will be different because I didn't have a lot of, as it is, I can't find my Christmas paper. I don't know where I put it when I brought it back in from our Christmas class in September. So I had to use last year's paper. So just for you, and then Santa's Express, and then the gift card goes right in here behind Santa Claus. Thought that was unique. So there you have it. That's the class this weekend. And I hope to see many of you there. Obviously, many of you can't make it. It's too far, but I hope to see many of you there. All right, switching you back. Okay, that's all I have to say. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching. I really enjoy having the conversation with you online. And I will talk to you again very soon. I'll be back next Tuesday. Bye-bye. Have a great week. Happy stamping.